guys, welcome back for another video. As you can see today, or this evening, I'm doing a bit of mowing down the farm. So this is what I mow pretty much every week. Doesn't look like mush grasses, but it's very thick. It's not long, it's thick. And it's in the higher setting with me, otherwise she'd be bogging. But yeah, it's quite a big piece. You know, I have to go around here, and then eventually I do cut up the middle and then go back and forth, you know. And then, I don't know, it's about half an acre maybe, if that. Maybe even an acre, I'm not quite sure how much this is. But there's our first cut of bales. So yeah, mowing with my ride-on mower. This is actually mine. I bought this with my money. I saved up. It's a John Deere X125 with a 40. Oh, I can't remember. It's either a 42 or a 48. I think it might be a 48 inch. Yeah, I think it might be a 48 inch deck. It does come with a mulching kit. I do use that pretty much every week as well, just for the front lawn, and then I take it off. But there's a chute. I do keep this up because the good thing about keeping the chute up is it blows it out a lot more, and you can't really see it that much then, the grass. Because originally I'd keep the chute down, and what I saw, if you kept the chute down, it would come out of the chute and it would hit this, and it would knock this here, and then it would just flop on the floor, so it wouldn't blow out, so it wouldn't like spread it out nice and even, so you couldn't really see it, and it would hit the top of that when it would come out, and it just plonk it right there, and it'd be a lot of clumps, and it just wouldn't look great. So I found that, well, I was like, do you know what, I'm going to try it. It makes sense, but let me try it, and it actually does work fairly well, I gotta say. Yeah, I got this back in 2016 or 17. Great piece of mower, I gotta say, great piece of kit. The seat though, the only thing is with the seat is a bit, yeah, a bit knackered, and it's only a 2-year-old, maybe 3, if that, and the seat is knackered, and I think it's because of the sun, but you can see it's slit there. I am going to get a new seat eventually, maybe about winter time I'll get a new seat for ready for next season. But you can see, I think it's the sun that's splitting that, because it gets very weak there. But yeah, it's a great machine. I love her. She does everything I need her to do, and she does a lot of mowing. She does about 120 odd hours a year. She's on 142.2 hours with me right now, as you can see. And once she hits 150, I do have an oil filter and oil for her, so I'm going to change her oil and stuff. And I'm also going to be buying a fuel filter as well, because I need to change that. Let's take that down. Got a bungee cord holding it there, and then we'll lift up the bonnet. So under her, obviously an engine. It's a John Deere Briggs & Stratton, right there, Briggs & Stratton. There's your dipstick. You open that up, check your oil, but obviously you can't check it now because it's been running. Air filter, battery, a lot of electronics, I gotta say, a lot of electronics. Your exhaust, right there. So that's where you drain your oil from that there. You basically twist that little black cap and the oil comes pouring out, hopefully into a bucket. And then around the other side we have our fuel filter right there, and our fuel pump, I believe that is fuel pump, I think it is, or a fuel injector, I'm not quite sure. I'm not an expert on this stuff. But yeah, so that's pretty much most of it. I do keep this machine greased every week, or every 2 weeks. I try to every 2 weeks, because I do mow every week with it. I mow about close to 2 acres every week with it, so I tend to grease it before I do another 2 acres the week after, if I can, because she, you know. So I do grease that there, where she turns, obviously, and then I also grease the bearing that's down there. If if you can zoom in right there, the bearing, you can see some grease there, it's a bit dirty. I grease these two. I also grease the spindles, the bearings for the blades. There's a bit of an awkward one, so I did have to buy a special grease gun for it with a metal pipe, a straight pipe, because otherwise with my other floppy one, it was obviously like a rubber material flop, and that was no use, because in there you need to grease and it's a very tight space. You got your deck wash there, it's pointless. But what I normally do is I put some planks down on a wall or something, climb up the wall, and then try and go underneath it. It's not that safe, but you know, safe enough. And then I just, with a hose or like a metal rod or something, scrape it off and then hose it off, and then jobs are good. And then I do greaser again, and you know, you don't want to drying up and rusting. Got your hitch. I did have to grind a little bit off it for it to fit on my attachments, because it normally come out for like a little triangle piece, but I had to grind it off because it wouldn't fit on my attachments. And the attachments I have is a fertilizer spreader, a dump trailer. It would fit on the dump trailer, but not the fertilizer spreader, and my set of chine harrow or tine thatcher, whatever you want to call it. So here you have your parking brake. You press that in and then lift that up. Your throttle, it's all the way up there, and then for choke, you feel a notch. It stops there, and then you push it harder then for choke. You have your switch. You do have a light, but only one is working at the moment, as you can see. Do need to get a new bulb for the other one, but yeah, and then you turn her all the way on then to start her. Your blade engagement, you pull that all the way up to about into the middle here, roughly. Your fuel gauge, she does have a full tank. That's where I got it from, Power Cut, Carmarthen. Yeah, that's about it really, and that's where you fill the fuel. And then in here, I do need to chuck that, but you got a can holder. You can hold a bottle of water, pop, anything. And on the old one I had, you didn't have this, but this is very handy. I like this because you can put your phone in there if you're mowing in the rain, but not normally. And then I keep some pins in there, safety goggles for when I'm strimming, U-bolts and tape, and yeah, pins, all that good stuff, you know. And that's about it, guys. So I'm going to carry on mowing before it gets a bit dark, and then I'm going to head home for the night. But yeah, I'm going to finish mowing this. I do have quite a bit left. So yeah, thank you for watching, guys, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye for now.